So, this is the Switch 2. Let's check out the contents of the box real quick and give it a bit of a comparison to the original Switch before we set the thing up. First off, there's a box inside the box. And inside that box is all the good stuff. Like a pair of Joy-Cons with their respective plastic cases. Though this time it's only to connect the wrist strap. Holy shit, this word is hard to say. It's not a fancy controller extension with a set of extra buttons, as was the case with the first Switch, where it was really needed because you couldn't really press the Joy-Cons shoulder buttons without it. And while the buttons are better this time, the whole thing doesn't really feel that great to hold. It's the little bumps on the side and how the whole thing is flat, and the buttons are still in somewhat of an indentation. Not my recommended choice to play games with. There's once again a shell for the Joy-Cons to use them as a regular controller. Though that one doesn't have a USB port, so you can't charge them while playing. Which baffles me. Why not include a fucking USB port on the thing? Just let me charge my controller. But yeah, with the release button you can just remove the wrist strap, and thanks to the unnecessary magnets, the Joy-Cons easily snap into place inside the controller shell. Then there's the dock. It's a little bit bigger than the original stock, and same as the first one, it has two USB ports on the side. And in the back, oh god, it comes off completely. Yeah, in the back it has an AC and an HDMI port, as well as a port for an internet cable. So the dock itself has one less USB port. I guess less is more? And then there's the console itself, slick and slim, with an additional USB-C port on the top of the console to make up for the missing port in the dock. Also there's a few cables. Now the controllers snap easily enough onto the console. Let's see how long this actually holds. I'm not sure with these magnets. Also, while attaching and detaching, I accidentally connected the Joy-Cons upside down. So great that something like this is even possible. I hope nothing gets damaged by that. The console is a bit larger than its predecessor, in part due to the slightly bigger Joy-Cons, but mostly because of the larger screen. Compared to the Steam Deck, it's still smaller, though the screen itself is bigger than that of my deck. Yeah, alright, let's hook it up to the TV. It's easy enough, just plug in the AC adapter and connect it to the capturing card of your choice, and nothing. It seems you have to start the console in handheld mode first, so let's do just this. Give it some juice, connect the Joy-Cons, detach them because the console is a bit moody. Yeah, let's try to get the thing running without an internet connection first, see if it really requires a patch to play games. Though I can only try it with Switch 1 games because I don't have a physical Switch 2 game yet. And yeah, we need to connect to the internet to get the console running. Awesome! And so customer friendly. But before we set this up, let's get rid of that horrible light theme. So now that I'm connected to the internet, let's log into my actual account and download the game that came with my Switch. But whoa there, what's this? Why is the console just downloading stuff without my permission? I didn't actually want any Breath of the Wild update data on this console. Why even? I already played the game on my Switch however many years ago. Let's turn that off. Connecting the account is pretty easy. Just scan the QR code, enter a code, and that's it. And then it immediately notifies me of my virtual game card library, and yeah, I guess it's there. Let's just give it a try for a moment. Not sure how often I will actually use this feature though. And while this loads, let's quickly check out the Pro controller I'm using right now. It's comfortable to hold, it's the same size as the previous model, I just keep accidentally pressing the new buttons on the back of the controller. I'm just not used to them, though I'm sure they are rather useful for some games. So yeah, virtual cards work, let's play something new. Yeah, verify. Hey look, Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour! As if. Fucking $10 for this crap. I was hoping this Paralympics basketball game was already available to test out the mouse functionality of the Joy-Con, but oh well. Let's finally get Mario Kart, that's the whole reason I wanted this console. And it is treated as a virtual game card. So is there a limit to how many cards you can have simultaneously? Or maybe it just shows how many you have connected to this specific console. I guess this is something to keep an eye on. We don't want Nintendo to screw us over later. I mean, screw us over even more. Hoo boy, that takes quite some time. Yay for digital games, especially on Nintendo hardware. We need to push it even more, huh? Price increases for cartridges aren't enough. Is it now just stuck at 100%? Ah, come on. Do I have to press something? Oh, stuck at 99 it seems. Come on. Maybe I lost the connection. Let's try logging into the store again. Ah, finally.
Mario Kart World!
Yeah, let's do it. Ah, this is it. This is pure bliss. Well, it's Mario Kart. You drive around wacky courses and blast your opponents with all kinds of crazy items. It doesn't really differ too much from the norm in that regard. It looks really nice, though with the open design in mind, the racing tracks aren't as cluttered with detail as was the case in Mario Kart 8, so it might appear lesser. There still is a lot of detail, especially with all the different types of pavement and the like, and of course the destructible terrain. The music sadly moved away from the rock tunes of Mario Kart 8 and goes more for a big band or even orchestral style, some jazz even. It is actually really varied, with lots of remixes from previous games. It looks and sounds as good in handheld mode, though I guess my footage just doesn't do it justice. Now I have to say that I don't find the Switch 2 in handheld mode that comfortable to hold. The edges of the Joy-Cons are just too sharp and press uncomfortably into my hands. Also, the battery really does drain pretty fast, which is just stupid for a handheld hybrid console. Yeah, back to the game. The core gameplay loop might be something you have to get used to, and maybe some players just won't get accustomed to it. With the whole open world design, there is now this element of driving towards the next racing track. And these roads in between, while not bad as such, aren't as fun as the actual tracks. Though they are deliberately laid out, it's not just boring stretches of road. And whenever you reach the next track, you immediately start the final lap, so I'm not sure about that. I guess you have to do this, or something like Grand Prix will take ages, but still. You don't even get a chance to learn the track, you have to do well from the start. Options would have been nice. Do you want classic Grand Prix or new open world Grand Prix? But man, look at this character selection, with even more to unlock. And then there's even additional outfits that I don't know how they actually work. I did miss the transform item on my first try, so there's that. But it's so much fun driving around these new tracks in... Wait, the fuck? Why is smart steering on by default? God damn it, Nintendo. Yeah, the game is fun, and during my short play I got a bit of a taste of the new HD Rumble. It is satisfyingly subtle and perfectly enhances the experience. And yeah, it's certainly another improvement. Now this here won't be a showcase of Mario Kart. For that I have a stream, which might or might not be already going. Or be done.
You destroyed the sandcastle! Why are you such an
So yeah, check that out if you want to see how I fare in this game. As for the Switch, well, it's certainly a Switch 2. It's a bit better performance-wise. It has some other upgrades as well as downgrades. It's not the innovation we're used from Big N. But in the end, the selling point for this are the games, especially the exclusives. So we will see how all this works out for Nintendo. Mario Kart will be the only game I buy new for now. Not gonna spend $80 on Donkey Kong or $70 on a download of a remake of a 3DS game. Oh, it got cheaper. Well, still. I guess I'll just get the actual physical releases used a bit later. But yeah, this was just a quick look at the new console. Either you already have it, or you boycotted it, or you're just not interested. But I guess everything's fine. Just don't let yourself get screwed over too much. And with that, I'm off! I wish you the greatest of days, and I hope to see you again on the next game. Or console. Or whatever.